Hi, welcome to our virtual course tour. You're here at the Welcome Start Here page. We recommend this as the home page setting for the first few days of your course. We want every student to be warmly greeted when they come into our course. The Welcome Start Here page gives them a point of emphasis, and it also lets them be warmly greeted. This is intentional hospitality. And the course virtual tour gives you a first-hand look at points of emphasis in the course and takes away some of that anxiety of, where do I go next? What do I do? And it allows the student to have kind of that looking over the shoulder of the professor to see what's important. In our course, the modules page will be a key navigation point for you. Let's go through some of the important points in the course overview. If you have a question, you'll want to click on the question mark right here. And it's really important to click reply if you have a question, and that way it lets everybody see the answer as well as the question. Often if you come up with a question, others have thought of it and maybe they just haven't gotten around to put that in a question form yet. But it will benefit everybody to keep our questions in a question form, and then you'll have a log of questions as well to refer from. Let's go back to the modules menu, and I want to show you some Canvas resources. There are probably more resources than you need here, but this link will take you to the HSU online website where all these links can be found. But here are some quick links. If you want extra Canvas information, you can click on these links and you'll see there's a variety of information on how to further explore Canvas. But Canvas and learning Canvas is a byproduct of this course and not a point of emphasis. This is about pedagogy, but you'll pick some things up along the way. And if you have a question about Canvas, you've got Canvas resources right here, or you can come over to the help icon and utilize that as well. Lastly, you'll see here in the course overview, there is a read tips and reflections. This is tips and reflections on the course overview, and I'll include that in each section of the course. And it will give you kind of a behind the scenes view of exactly why we're doing the things that we're doing in our course. Now, you can progress down to the course syllabus. You've already seen the digital syllabus, and you can click on the digital syllabus and refer to that. But here you can see myself and Dr. King. You can see our office hours, our office phone, cell that you can text us, and email. And something that you'll want to know is I have office hours on Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday evenings from 8 until 9 p.m. Which means if you want to text me or set up an appointment in advance, I'll be happy to meet with you on a video conference or a phone or chat. Now, I'm going to be in the course daily. I'll probably spend a good hour in the morning, an hour in the afternoon, and I usually drop in the evening as well. So if you did post a question or if you turned in an assignment and you're looking for feedback, those will be the after those hours you'll see when something may be posted or responded to. Now, those aren't the only times, but I try to make it a point to check on things during these times. Now, it may be tempting to just say, well, I'll just give Scott a quick call instead of putting something in a question form. But it's really helpful if you use the question form. And if you ask me a question about the course, and I am more than happy to help you and assist you. But one thing I'm going to ask you first is, tell me what you've already done to find a solution. Because you will also have online students in the future. And if you respond to a question without allowing the student to follow the normal processes of learning and obtaining help, you may find yourself overwhelmed with and inundated with questions from the students. And you want to train them to be learning and not just contacting you directly. So that's one of the reasons behind the question forum and the processes, office hours, and things like that. There is a method to our madness. And let's progress back to the modules, and you can explore the rest of the syllabus on your own. But I do want to point out to text and media as a reminder that if you've already purchased these, to go ahead when the course has been completed and you've completed all your work and you have your certificate, please submit those receipts so we can provide you with a refund. Now, let me give you a little bit of a look at week one. Now, you can see there's Module 2 and a Module 3 here. Remember, there's only 2 weeks, but we set up a Module 3 as kind of a spillover week because of the holiday. And I will open up Module 2 next week. We just want you to concentrate on the work ahead this week. So let's take a look at Module 1. You'll have several readings. There's an article that you'll enjoy, and there's readings from the Stradivarus textbook and the Thomas textbook. And I think you'll enjoy both of these. Especially the Effective Online Teaching text is a very good resource. Now, there may not be time for you to attend to all the 15 or 16 chapters during the course, but I will tell you how to interact with the pertinent chapters for our workshop, and then you can come back to that and keep that as a resource for later. And there'll be some video and other things for you to view as well. You're going to introduce yourself. You're going to have an interactive presentation. There's going to be another video for you to view, and there'll be a podcast with a response in a tool called an answer garden. Now, you'll notice that I've set up all the assignments here that are due on or before Wednesday, and then all the assignments that are due on or before Sunday. Here's why that's important. You'll want to look at your calendar, and you'll want to make sure that you set aside time to attend to each of the activities. Account for times to read, to reflect, to interact with the technology, and to respond and reflect via answers to the particular assignments. Now, I realize, and we've given you this extra cushion of time, that there may be things that you are going to have to work on a weekend, or may need to utilize that extra week at the end to complete. But you'll want to stay on top of things like the introduction and anything in the course, for example, connecting to your creator, where it calls for a communal response or your particular feedback will benefit and help the other class to keep on target. And I'll let you know as we progress through our announcements and ongoing dialogue what it is important to emphasize to make sure that you get done during the week, and what are some things that may require some more heavy lifting that can be done later or after the course has formally closed in our kind of makeup time. So let's go back to the modules and progress down through some of the assignments for some points of emphasis. We will be using, and you're familiar with the introduction form, but it's fairly easy to understand, so I won't spend a lot of time there. But you may or may not have used a VoiceThread before. A VoiceThread will allow you to record video or audio response, and I'll show you that in just a moment. And I have some instructions here on how to do that. Now, you can refer back to the modules, or you can always go down to the click Next button, and off we go to the next page. Okay, it requires an email address for all accounts. We'll get that taken care of. That's good to know. But by the time you respond to the VoiceThread, you will have an easy time completing your information by listening or reading what is on a slide and then adding your video or audio comments to that. There'll be a podcast to listen to. You'll have some more information and content to view. And as you're going through the course, you can get ideas on how you may want to present content or interact with your students by some of the tools and methods that we use here in this course. There'll be another VoiceThread where you'll be interacting with the Thomas textbook, a slideshow. You'll have a video that kind of stops the action along the way. There'll be an atomic learning series that will expose you to atomic learning and give you a general overview. And then in assignment 1.5 will be some reflection for you that you can look back over the week. You can look at some of the resources here, some of the tools we've used, and provide a reflection in our Google Doc. Again, I want to welcome you to our course. I'm really glad that you're with us, and I look forward to your success and our learning experience together.